Hi, everybody. Welcome to the second segment, episode 204 of Sold with Updike Pugh. I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and today we have a segment that really corresponds with the weather that's outside, given the fact that it's really cooled off.
Fire pit or money pit?
That is a great question, and it is such a fine line. It is such a fine line because it can get out of control in a heartbeat. I think years and years ago, we were putting a pool in at one of the houses, and we sat down with the designers to talk about the pool, and the first image that comes up is all of these elements that they want to do to the backyard. And I remember my blood boiled, and I was like, show me the pool. I don't want to see the fire pit. You're not going to sell me a fire pit yet. So this is a really great way to talk about how to enjoy your yard right now as we get to bundle up.
It is, and if you don't have a fire pit yet, they can be affordable. You could spend $5,000 building a really expensive fire pit if you wanted. But some of the ways that we're going to talk about, you can do for less than $1,000.
Yeah, they're really interesting. So what's the first thing that you want to tell us is a way to save money?
The first thing was to choose wood and not gas.
That is a hard one for me.
It is. It is.
It's the toughest one there is.
Yeah. But it is probably the least expensive way to do it.
It is, because there is always wood that you can snag and put out.
Yep.
It's just
you
you got to have, what is it? Chairs.
The Adirondack chairs?
No, you got the chairs that you can move out of the way when the smoke blows.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, that is very true. But the second option is if you want gas, you can do it. It's not horribly expensive running a gas line off. You just have to, I guess, really make sure that it makes sense to do that.
I think the other thing too that we encountered is making sure that you have enough BTUs coming into the house, because there is a chance that if you don't have that separated right, or the lines don't come in properly and they're just teeing off of the house line, and you run your actual fire pit, there's a chance boiling water is going to take a lot longer. So careful on that. That might be one of those things that's being cheap and not frugal. So I would definitely want to have a good gas guy know what I'm trying to do and make sure I don't eliminate my ability to cook.
I would agree. The third thing is to skip the built-in seating. Adirondack chairs. I don't know why I have trouble with that word. Adirondack chairs are really great.
Yes.
Camping chairs are so, like you were talking about, if you really want to be able to make a quick move and get away from the smoke, grabbing camping chairs and get it moving over and sitting back down makes it super easy.
Absolutely. And the other thing is, don't do anything custom. And I think that one of the elements that we can see that people can get really insane on when they customize it, shapes. Getting too big, you need to be careful about. They will make those things enormous, and they do not need to be. You will waste, your gas bill will be enormous. The other thing too that they like to sell the cement balls that are for fire. You don't have to do that. You can actually make them yourself, and I've made.
Call Weston and ask. That's all you got to do.
I made an entire set.
You did.
For our houses. You have a set, and it was Merry Christmas, and I got a set, and we still use them.
Yep.
It is 100% possible. It costs $30 in cement. Gotta get the right cement though. Call about that.
Number 5 is go with pavers for your patio. Pavers can be purchased at Home Depot. They are not real complicated to install. They do require a little bit of elbow grease or back grease, whatever you want to call it. You do have to level your area, bring your base coat in.
It's worth it.
It's work, but it is worth it at the end of the day. It's so much prettier than concrete.
So 100%, and even like if you did wood deck, it wouldn't work right because it's gonna burn. But the other thing too is like a paver deck done right lasts forever, and there's so many different shapes. It doesn't always have to look like it popped out of Home Depot. There are lots of different shapes out there, especially in Texas.
One of the other options is that you can also go with a smokeless fire pit, and there are a lot of those. I'm seeing a lot more and more of those come out that are the big, usually stainless steel can type. That even though they do some of them burn a pellet type product that I think burns like a fire but doesn't put off the smoke.
My brother has one of these, and it is insane. They really work, and they are really hot. So you have to keep that in mind as well. So careful around the campfire.
Yeah.
The last thing, the seventh thing we want to talk about is decomposed granite. is also an option rather than going with pavers or any other material. Decomposed granite, I think, is an excellent choice. One of the things you really have to do is you have to actually compact it the right amount. And then one of the other things too, I think, and this is just kind of like thinking it through, is a nice sisal type rug that you can wipe your feet on before you go in the house and track it in. That's really a good thing as well.
It really is. And the last thing that we were going to suggest is you can also do it yourself very easily with kids. And so we've got links for 3 different kits that we were going to pop up real quick. This is one that's available at Lowe's for about $250. You can have this shipped right to your house. There are different colors of the stone you can use. And I think you could probably put this together in about an hour.
Yep. And the second one that we're going to look at, I believe this one is also from Home Depot. Or this is from Wayfair. This is a square, and it includes bricks. And one of the great things about this is if you don't like the bricks here, there's lots of different types of bricks. Probably your house, if it's a newer house, there are bricks left over that you can have that done with and look really nice.
And the last one we were going to bring up, I think this is on Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. Is it? Yeah, on Academy. Thank you. So this is a really cool modern fire pit that requires nothing other than picking it up and bringing it home, and you could probably even have it shipped to your home. So, but it is propane fueled.
Yeah.
So you have a propane tank in this that you have to replace from time to time. But for something that is easy, simple, quick, this could be your answer.
And we didn't get the link to this one, but there is also, if you go, have you ever been to in Lowest Greenville Speed Racer, the restaurant? Have you been? What? Desert Racer. Have you been there?
Oh, I have been there, yeah.
Okay, Desert Racer, when you walk up, they have these cement forms that are in circles and all these that are, they use them as planters. Have you seen them? And the company that makes them has spray painted a stencil with their name on them. So I called them and I was like, I want these. They'd be a great one for the backyard, for fire pit. There'd be a great one that I was going to use as like a raised planter. And they're like, absolutely. They were cheap and they look so cool. Guess what the caveat is? They're so heavy. They will not unload them. And you have to have a forklift. And then you have to have what's the right tire? The pneumatic tire or the air tire? So you don't destroy your yard and your driveway.
Yeah, you have to have the air tires.
So by the time you rent all that, you spent $800 renting and bringing in a forklift to save on this $200 badass, planter / fire pit. I was like,
and we only know what the cost of those rentals are because we had to look them up with one of the projects that Weston was going to do at this house.
Didn't do it.
Well, we didn't do it.
I wanted to so bad, but I knew that I was going to ruin my sprinkler system. I knew I was going to destroy the driveway. I was like, and then Dale was like, really? Are you that big a boy? I was like, yes, I'm not.
But then we did another project that I thought turned out just as nice.
It did. It was wonderful.
So I hope you enjoyed that today. If there's any topics that you'd like for us to discuss or share with you, we'd be happy to do that.
And with that, just remember, we want to be your realtors for life.
When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be your realtors for life.